Don't miss the tea. Subscribe now.
Girl, pour the wine. No, the big glass, fills it to the brim. You are not going to believe the absolute circus act I am dealing with right now. You know how I thought I was finally done with that toxic corporate hellhole? You know, the large public company that shall not be named. The one that basically ghosted me after my leave. Well, apparently they aren't done with me. They are trying to ruin my life from beyond the grave. I wish I was joking. Okay, let me back up because if I don't explain the timeline, you're going to be as confused as I am, and frankly, as confused as they seem to be. This whole thing is a masterclass in incompetence, and naturally, I'm the one who's supposed to pay for it, literally. So, rewind with me to September 2022. God, feels like a lifetime ago, right? I was still living in Texas back then. This was right when I started my 2-year leave. I remember that pay period vividly because it was chaotic. I worked exactly 2 out of the 11 working days in that bi-monthly period. 2 days. I logged in, I did my stuff, I handed things off, and I went on leave. Simple, right? You work 2 days, you get paid for 2 days. That is how jobs work. That is how the exchange of labor for currency has functioned since the dawn of time. Apparently, their payroll department missed that memo. Fast forward a bit. While I'm on leave, this is February 2023, I technically got a merit raise. I know, sounds nice, right? My base rate went up in the system. Let's call my old rate X and the merit raise Y, so now I'm at X plus Y. I wasn't actively working, but the system updated my salary band or whatever. Keep that in mind because it becomes the stupidest plot point later. Now jump to September 2024. The leave is ending. I am ready to return to the workforce. I'm living in Boston now, ready for a fresh start. I reach out to them, fully expecting to just slot back in. But no, of course not. The company is undergoing restructuring, that favorite corporate euphemism for we are a mess. They tell me, oh, just apply for a new role internally. You have plenty of time. Look around, find a good fit. So I do. I hustle. I'm networking, I'm applying. But by November 2024, it becomes painfully obvious that my skill set, which was valuable 2 years ago, apparently doesn't exist in their new restructured universe. There are 0 roles for me. None. Then they drop the hammer, keep looking, but if you don't find anything, you're getting laid off in March 2025. Okay, fine. It sucks, but at least a layoff means severance, right? It means unemployment benefits. I can plan for March. I have a timeline, I can budget. But then, and this is where I started seeing red, February 2025 rolls around. A whole month early. They call me up and basically say, actually, you can't look for roles anymore. We're offboarding you now. I was like, excuse me, is this a layoff? And they go, no, just offboarding. Girl, they pushed me out. No severance. No unemployment eligibility because they framed it in this shady way where I wasn't technically laid off, I just ceased to exist. I didn't sign anything. I refused. I wasn't going to put my name on a document that screwed me out of benefits. I just left. I was furious, but I thought, okay, at least I am free. I have a new job lined up. I have a group legal plan at the new place. I'm moving on. I really thought that was the end of it. But then. September 2025. 6 months after they unceremoniously kicked me to the curb. I go to my mailbox and there is a letter from them. My heart literally dropped into my stomach. They are claiming I owe them money, a large sum. I'm not talking about a couple of $100 for a missing laptop charger. I'm talking thousands. The letter details this alleged overpayment in 2 parts. Part A, overpaid wages from that very first pay period back in 2022. Part B, duplicately paid vacation days. I nearly screamed. Duplicate vacation days. I didn't take vacation, I was on leave, so I start fighting them. I'm sending emails, I'm making calls, I'm asking for proof. I'm asking for the math. Show your work like we're in 5th grade algebra. By November 2025, after I've dragged them over the coals about the vacation days, they finally reply. And get this, they say, oh, disregard that previous letter. For a second, I felt this wave of relief. I thought, okay, they realized they're insane. But no. They follow up with actually disregard the vacation part. We messed that up. But you still owe us the overpaid wages from 2022. And this is where the tea gets scalding hot and where my blood pressure is currently reciting. somewhere in the stratosphere. I have been trying to get them to explain how they calculated this overpayment for months, and the numbers do not add up. It is fuzzy math at best and fraud at worst. First of all, remember that merit raise I got in 2023, the one that happened months after the alleged overpayment in 2022. Well, it looks like they are using my new, higher rate to calculate how much they overpaid me in 2022. Make it make sense. How can you say, we paid you too much in 2022, but then calculate the debt based on a salary I didn't even have yet? They are basically charging me for a steak dinner when I ordered a salad 3 years ago. Secondly, they are taking the gross overpayment and then adjusting it for FICA and 401k contributions to get a net number, but the way they're doing it is opaque as hell. And third, and this is the kicker, they aren't crediting me for the days I actually worked. Remember, I worked 2 out of 11 days in that bi-monthly period. I earned that money. But they seem to be calculating the clawback as if I worked 0 days. They aren't adjusting the bi-monthly rate to credit me for those 16 hours or whatever it was. They just want the whole check back. I have asked them repeatedly, why are you using the 2023 rate for a 2022 error? Crickets. I have asked, why aren't you crediting me for the days I worked? Vague nonsense responses. I have asked, why is this calculation total garbage? And you know what happened? I honestly just lost track of it in January. It was the holidays, I was busy with the new job, and frankly, dealing with them gives me hives. I didn't reply to their last nonsense email because I was waiting for them to validate my questions. I thought the ball was in their court to prove I owed the money. Well, apparently, they decided the game is over. What do you think they did next? They just contacted me again. They are threatening to send this to a collection agency by the end of this month. I am freaking out. Like full-blown panic mode. I'm sitting here in Boston, staring at this email thinking, can they actually do this? It's been years since the alleged error. Is there a statute of limitations on being incompetent at payroll? Technically, has it been too long to collect? And if they sell this debt to a collection agency, you know what happens next. The vultures start circling. My credit score, which I have nurtured like a delicate orchid, could take a hit. And will the collection agency add fees? Will this large sum suddenly double because of processing fees and interest? I would pay it if I actually owed it. I'm not a thief. If they could show me a spreadsheet that says, here is your 2022 rate, here are the 2 days you worked, here is what we paid you, here is the difference, I would write the check. I just want it over with. But given their track record. They tried to charge me for vacation days I never took. They pushed me out without severance. They can't even decide which year's salary to use for the math. Why on earth should I trust that this number is real? I'm not convinced I owe them this much, or honestly, if I owe them anything at all after taxes and deductions are actually factored in properly. I am running out of time. They want their money now, but they still haven't answered a single one of my valid questions. It feels like extortion. Pay us this arbitrary amount that we calculated using the wrong salary and ignoring the days you worked, or we will destroy your credit. Thank God I have that group legal plan at my new job. I'm going to call a lawyer first thing tomorrow morning. I need someone to look at this and tell me if I'm crazy or if this company is actually trying to rob me. But seriously, can you believe the audacity? A massive public company, nickeling and dimming a former employee over a payroll error they made 3 years ago, using the wrong math after denying me severance. It feels personal. It feels vindictive. I just don't know what to do. Do I pay it to make it go away? Do I fight it and risk collections? I'm so tired of them, I thought I escaped. Pass the bottle. I'm gonna need a refill, and maybe a Xanax.